One problem I've always had, how do I find a good and trustworthy mechanic? Yes, you could easily spend a lot of time reading lots of reviews and doing your own research, but who the heck has time for that? Instead, I've written a Python script that actually queries all the Google Maps. It pulls down lots of reviews for different car mechanics in a certain area. It bundles all those reviews up, sends them to Chatgpt and says, who is the best mechanic in your opinion? Let's go ahead and run the demo. So what's happening here behind the scenes, the script is actually coming here to Google Maps, and it's calling Google Maps, and it's at this latitude and longitude. And then it's asking Google Maps in a 5-mile radius of this location, pull in, give me some mechanics. And from those mechanics, give me the customer reviews of those mechanics. And then it's going to be bundling up all that information and sending it to ChatGPT and asking, which one is the best mechanic based on these reviews? And here's the answer. So based on the reviews, I would choose this mechanic, service, their professionalism, attention to detail. So it took all of those reviews, compared them, and chose this particular mechanic. Okay, before we get started, we need to go ahead and pip install the things we need. So we're going to pip install request, python-.env, ice cream, and langchain. Here are the imports that we're going to be using. So request.env, import OS, ice cream for debugging. Here are the langchain packages we'll be using. So this analyze documents chain, chat OpenAI, and then this load question and answer chain. Now come over and create a .env file. You're going to need 2 API keys. So one is your OpenAI API key. Next is going to be your Google API key. That's going to be used to actually query Google Maps. Let's walk through how you actually get that Google Maps API key. You need a Google Cloud account, so GCP account. Once you get that, come in here and let's create a new project. We'll call this Demo 345. Go ahead and select the project. Enable it APIs and services. Go ahead to Places API. This is our API we're going to be using. Go ahead and enable it. Here is going to be your API key, so be sure to copy that. You'll take that to your python.env file. Go to Google Maps platform. Now we're going to restrict the key. So API restriction. Let's restrict that key to only the Places API. If you ever need to come back to your key, come here to Keys and Credentials, Maps API key, and you can show the key and grab it again right there. Back to our code. So what we're going to do here is a .env.load.env. Once you set those keys, we'll have those in our environment. We're going to start at main function. So let's set up our Google API key. Let's pull that into a variable. Houston, Texas, the location is here, latitude, longitude. And then our radius is going to be 8,000 meters, roughly 5 miles. And the keyword is car mechanic. Again, this could be for any keyword that you want. You could really revise the script, obviously, to not just search car mechanics, but any other kind of things with reviews on Google Maps. This is going to be our helper functions. So we're going to call it search_places, pass it the Google API key, location, radius, and keyword. And then we'll pull that back into the places results. Come back to the top of main, and now here is our search places function. We put in our inputs, Google API key, location, radius, and keyword. And here is the URL. So maps, Google APIs, maps API place, nearby search. That's what we're doing. That is the actual API call. Here is the actual documentation in Google Maps platform API. So you can see nearby search. This is exactly what we're looking for, and it's going to return the answer in a JSON. We're going to use the request library to get that, make sure it's 200 OK. And then we're going to return the answer to the caller. Once we get those back, we need to now iterate over those answers, all places, and let's pull that into this so that we can iterate over that list. We're only going to be looking at 10 different car mechanics. You obviously could make this much bigger. Now we're going to pull the first one there. So all places, the index is going to be 0, and we need the place ID. Here is the place ID finder. So everything in Google Maps does have a place ID. Look at this, it's like a big giant a key, like a hash. And so we're going to use that ID so that we can call the Google API again to get reviews about that ID. In order to get those details, we need to add another helper function here. So get place details, passing it place ID in Google API key. Come back to the top of main again. So get place details. Here's our parameters. And here is the new URL, the API call to Google Maps. This one is called details and then JSON. So we pass it the place ID. And here's the fields we want. We want the name, the rating, and the review. That's going to give us the reviews back so that we can actually package those up and send those to Chatgpt. Okay, once we get those details, we need to do a couple things. So we need to pull out the business name because we want the business name to be part of the review. The info that we send to Chatgpt wants to be kind of nicely formatted for Chatgpt. So let's make sure this thing has reviews. Some of the place IDs did not have reviews. Obviously, we don't care about those. So in that case, we check, and if it does not have a review, let's just going to continue and skip to the next one. Then we're going to make sure we have at least 5 reviews. That's what's going on here. So review count, length of results reviews. Make sure there's at least 5. If there's not 5, we're going to also skip those. So that's what this continue does, is continue, jump back here, and get the next one. Okay, if these 2 conditions are satisfied, now let's grab the reviews. For review and result reviews, so for each one, let's get the text. So that's review text. Here is that field. And then let's configure this. What we're going to do is say name and reviews, and we're going to say, we're going to configure this F string here. So mechanic name is business name, a carriage return, and then review, colon, carriage return again, and then the review text. Then we're going to add that. So we're going to append that to this all text. And then also, just for fun, we're going to put the place IDs in an array so we can print those as well as part of debugging. Once we get all the reviews, we're going to say do a .join on all those and to all reviews. Now we're going to get to another helper function here called engage AI, which is when we're going to send all those reviews to Chatgpt and get an answer back. Come back to the top of main and let's build our engage AI function. Here is the user message. So which of the mechanics has the best reviews and why do you think that? You must make a choice and choose one mechanic and provide reasoning behind it. I had a couple scenarios in testing where it would not choose. It said, hey, this is too hard. They're all good. I guess that's a good problem. But in this demo, I wanted to force the AI, you have to make a choice. And with this added prompt here, it does make a choice. Let's set up the LLM, chat open AI. The model we're going to be using is GPT 3.5 Turbo. Now we're going to set up our question and answer chain. So that's what this load QA chain is, the LLM. Chain type is called map reduce. Now we need to set up this object called the analyze document chain, the Q&A chain that we just set up. And then finally, we can do a .run on that object. And the input document is all the review data. And then obviously the question is the user message that we just set up. Once we get that answer back from Chatgpt, we return it back to the caller. Those are all the pieces. Let's go ahead and run this and we look at some more debug. And here's the output from the script. So here are the 10 place IDs and here are the reviews and how they're structured. So mechanic name, this mechanic shop here, review, new to Houston, bought my car, my issue. This is really great reviews here. Let's jump down to another one. So here is Heights Auto Repair. Again, you can see all the reviews for all the mechanics. It would take you forever to read through all these and do your own analysis. And then again, finally the answer, it shows this mechanic. Let's see here. What's really neat is they summarize all the good things they pointed out. So exceptional service, professionalism, attention to detail. They appreciate the follow-up, thorough explanations of the issues, and cleanliness of the waiting room. Again, very unique things here that it pulled out that it thought this would make it a better place than the other reviews. If you enjoyed the video at all, please like and subscribe, and please check out all my other videos on my channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time.